Okay, good day guys. I just quickly want to discuss the leaking basin tap inside the Quantum Leisure caravans. This is basically the tap that's leaking. I'm going to explain to you firstly how to prevent it from leaking. Secondly, I'm going to explain to you how to make the tap to operate a little bit smoothly as well. People have been complaining that it's quite stiff, and when you turn it, it is, as you can see there, it is quite stiff to turn. The head should turn easy, and then of course there it's also very tight. Exactly the same with the opening mechanism. You will see it goes from cold to hot. That is what the guys were complaining. It's very tight. I can feel it. It is very tight. We're going to discuss and try and sort out all those thingies, including the leaking of the tap. Now firstly, what I'm going to do is, let's start with the leaking side. We're going to open the tap. Now we're going to remove this knob here. Okay, now that's a bit tricky because it's quite tight. As you can see, you need to use a little bit of force there. As soon as you've removed that, you will see on this tap you've got a little screw there which is holding this mechanism here. Now that is your turning mechanism. It also switches on the micro switch so that it opens the tap and basically gives you water to the tap. I'm going to remove this little screw here. I'm just going to loosen it. That is a little bracket that just basically holds this mechanism in place. Don't lose it. So I'm going to pour it in my little cup there so that we know exactly where it is. Then I'm going to take a screwdriver to remove this unit. Please be careful. Don't remove from this side. You will break the plastic. You will go to the section where you've got a little bit more meat. You will see you're just going to need to wedge it a little bit there. As soon as you've wedged it, it basically just pops out. Alright, now that is the mechanism on the inside that is supplying water to your tap. As you can see, I can tell you now why our tap is leaking. We've got a little O-ring which broke. There you can see. I'm just going to remove that O-ring. Okay, so that's basically the culprit that is giving us the leaking on the tap. Alright, what I would suggest is, if you do get that, go to your local hardware. They do sell O-rings. Make sure you take a little sample with, and see if you can just get a unit which is exactly the same size and the thickness as this specific unit. Right, we're going to chuck that one side. I've already got us an O-ring there because I thought that would be our problem. You'll see I've put it in a cup of hot water. The reason for that is being just to make it hot so that it's easier to flex and all of that. And then of course, as soon as I put it on this unit, I'm just going to slide it over here. The reason why it's hot is just so that when you do put it in here, it will automatically shape to that specific spec that we want there. As you can see there, we've got it in now, so that is fitted. As easy as that. Right, but now our movement is still very stiff, so what we're going to do is we're going to lubricate the unit. Therefore, I've got some grease here. If you do not have grease while you're busy camping, Vaseline will work as well. So get some Vaseline, and I'm just going to take some of this grease now. Just going to rub it on here. I prefer to use the grease. Reason for the grease is the grease can take higher temperature. Please be advised, your geyser heats up to about 60 degrees. So Vaseline will last, but it's just for the temporary fix. A better lubricant to use here will be silicone grease. Bit expensive, but yeah, it's a lot better as well than your normal grease that I'm using here. It will basically last a bit longer. Just guys, remember, these taps need to be serviced every now and then, just to make sure that it is lubricated. As soon as you lubricate the unit, your rubber is not going to perish like what happened here. Most probably this little rubber perished, and with being used now and not having enough lubrication, it got stuck somewhere. You can see there's a little bite out of it there. Got stuck, and it just basically torn the the unit. I'm going to just put this back in there. Oh, at the same time, I just want to explain to you guys, right on the inside there, you've got a little micro switch. Watch out for that, Oki. If you do put this back, make sure that this PPK doesn't touch there. So I'm going to take it, turn it all the way there. As you can see, it just pops in, and now my tap is working a little bit easier as well. Just fingers are not so lacquer at the moment because of the crease. Right, then I'm going to take this little unit, make sure you put it the right way around, put it in there, and fasten that quickly. Now that that is in, we take our handle, pop that back on there, and as you can see, the tap is working a lot easier. Alright, then next is going to be our neck, which is a bit tight as well. As you can see, you need to put some force there basically. I'm going to remove that as well. Also again, you're going to need to use a little bit of force on this unit. You will see you've got a lip section there, O-ring there. O-ring basically just sits on the inside of that collar there, and that basically seals the unit. Once again, you've got an O-ring. We're going to put some grease on it to make sure that it doesn't perish. Quite a little bit of grease there on our O-ring, right round. Put it on a bit of it on the collar as well. Okay, when that's done, we're just going to put it there. We're going to open the rest of the tap, which is this neck section here. Also, a little bit of force, a lot of force. As you see, it's also got an O-ring. It's got those collars there, so it is a bit tighter. It seats properly. It needs to seal nicely as well. I'm going to put some grease on that little O-ring there, just to make sure that our O-ring don't perish. Okay, now that that's done, we're going to basically put this Oki back together. Right, I'm going to put that in there. As you can see, our mechanism is working a lot easier now that it's got some lubrication on it. Okay, then we're going to pop this one back in there as well. Now that we've got that in there, as easy as that. That's all your tap needs. Just a little bit of lubrication. You're going to prevent it from leaking. Take care of your O-rings. Like I say, house taps work different. They've got a flange that basically turned down. This Oki works on O-rings, so the O-rings needs to be lubricated so that they don't perish, and that prevents your tap from leaking. Okay, as you can see, head is working nicely, very easy. Wife is going to be happy with you there, and then of course neck is moving easy as well. You've got a little filter here. If you're going to open up the filter, exactly the same, just wedge your flat screwdriver in there, and you pop that out. Some more there. Okay, take it out. You'll see it hasn't got a little filter, so all you just need to do there is just basically clean it off. This one's been used, like I say, the customer complained it was leaking, and it's very difficult to use the unit. You'll see there is a little O-ring on the inside there, but like I say, that's, you don't need to really worry about that one. It's not as if it's going to leak there. It's just holding it in place. Okay, and that's it. Our tap is sorted out, and you're ready to go camping. Thank you very much.